Have you ever woken up 3, 4, even 5 times a night just to go to the bathroom and then struggled to fall back asleep afterward? You're not alone. For many people over 60, those frequent nighttime bathroom trips aren't just frustrating. They can start to take a real toll on your health. Poor sleep affects your mood, your memory, your energy, and even your immune system. And the worst part? It can feel like no matter what you do, your bladder has a mind of its own once the sun goes down. But here's something most people don't realize. What you eat during the day, and especially in the evening, can play a huge role in whether you sleep soundly or keep getting up all night long. That's right, food isn't just about your weight or your blood pressure. It can directly affect your bladder, and in some cases, it may be the missing link to restoring your restful nights. Today, we're going to talk about 6 of the best foods you can start eating regularly to help reduce nighttime urination. These are simple, affordable, and easy to add to your diet. And the best part? They support not just your bladder, but your overall health, helping you stay independent, clear-minded, and full of energy. So let's dive in. And as we go, think about your current routine. Maybe you'll hear something that clicks, and it just might be the change your body's been asking for. Let's begin with something you might already have in your kitchen. Pumpkin seeds. These tiny little seeds are a powerhouse when it comes to bladder health. They're rich in something called zinc and omega-3 fatty acids, both of which help reduce inflammation in the bladder and support muscle tone. That's important because as we get older, the muscles around the bladder, especially the ones that help hold urine in, can start to weaken. That's part of why those sudden urges become more frequent, even if your bladder isn't full. Pumpkin seeds are also known to help with symptoms of overactive bladder. In fact, some studies have shown that people who eat them regularly notice fewer urgent trips to the bathroom, especially at night. And they're so easy to enjoy. Sprinkle them on your salad, add them to oatmeal, or just eat a small handful. As a bedtime snack, just make sure they're unsalted, because too much salt in the evening can actually make nocturia worse by causing water retention and disrupting your fluid balance. Now, another food that deserves a spot on your plate is cooked leafy greens, things like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. These greens are rich in magnesium, a mineral that's crucial for muscle function and relaxation. And yes, that includes the muscles around your bladder. If those muscles are too tense or irritable, you're more likely to feel that constant need to go even when your bladder isn't full. Magnesium also supports better sleep by calming your nervous system. So in a way, leafy greens are doing double duty. They help your bladder hold urine more comfortably, and they help your brain settle down for a deeper night's sleep. Cooking the greens is especially helpful because raw greens can sometimes be harder to digest, especially later in the day. Try sautéing them with a little olive oil and garlic, or mixing them into soups and stews. You might be thinking, that sounds healthy, but I still don't know how food could really stop me from waking up at night. And that's understandable. For years, we've been told to focus on medications or just accept that poor sleep is a part of aging. But the truth is, your body is constantly responding to what you feed it. If you give it foods that calm inflammation, relax the bladder, and support your nerves and muscles, you give yourself a better chance at peaceful sleep. Now, let's talk about a surprising one: bananas. Yes, the same bananas you've probably eaten your whole life. Bananas are high in potassium, which helps balance the sodium in your body and reduce fluid buildup. This can be especially important if you tend to retain water during the day and find yourself releasing it all night long. Bananas are also gentle on the stomach and contain magnesium, just like those leafy greens we mentioned. That combination helps soothe the bladder and the muscles that control it. But here's the trick. If you eat a banana too late at night, It could cause some people to feel too full or even slightly bloated. The best time to enjoy one is about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, just enough time for it to digest and begin working its magic. Some people even find that pairing a banana with a spoonful of almond butter makes for a perfect, sleep-friendly snack. Almonds are another great source of magnesium and healthy fats, so together they create a little nighttime cocktail that helps your bladder relax while also curbing hunger that might wake you up. And speaking of hydration, because yes, we can't avoid it, we need to talk about the timing of fluids. Drinking enough water during the day is essential. If you cut back too much out of fear of nighttime trips, you actually risk making your bladder more irritated and your urine more concentrated, which can increase the urge to go. So instead of reducing fluids altogether, try shifting your drinking earlier. Hydrate well in the morning and early afternoon, then taper off in the evening. This allows your body to process and eliminate most fluids before bedtime. So far, we've talked about pumpkin seeds, cooked leafy greens, and bananas. Each of these supports your bladder in a unique way, whether it's calming inflammation, improving muscle tone, or balancing fluids. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to overhaul your whole diet to start seeing results. Even small, consistent changes can help you regain control over your nights and your life. Let's keep going and look at a few more foods that might be the missing piece in your night. Great. Let's keep going and look at a few more foods that might be the missing piece in your nighttime routine. Now, if there's one food that often gets overlooked but deserves a place on your plate, especially if you're dealing with frequent urination, it's barley. Yes, simple, humble barley. This ancient grain is not only packed with fiber, but it's also known for its natural diuretic properties. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, a diuretic? Doesn't that make you pee more? In large quantities, yes, but here's where it gets interesting. Barley works to reduce water retention throughout the day, helping your body eliminate excess fluid before you go to bed. That means by the time you lie down for the night, there's less pressure on your bladder and fewer reasons for it to wake you up. Barley is also soothing to the digestive system and helps regulate blood sugar. Two big wins for anyone over 60. High blood sugar can irritate the bladder and contribute to nocturia, so choosing foods that stabilize glucose is key. A warm barley soup for lunch or a small serving of barley salad in the afternoon can gently help your system rebalance, giving your kidneys and bladder less work to do overnight. Another powerful bladder-friendly option to consider is cooked carrots. Not only are carrots full of fiber and beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, they also have a natural calming effect on the bladder lining. Inflammation is one of the silent causes behind frequent urination, and carrots help to soothe that. They're gentle, they digest easily, and they pair well with other healthy foods that support your urinary system. Think of it this way. Your bladder is like a sensitive guest. It doesn't like being stretched too far, irritated by spicy or acidic foods, or surprised by sudden pressure. What it really wants is comfort, calm, predictable comfort. And carrots, along with foods like barley and greens, offer exactly that. But what might surprise you the most is this next one, blueberries. That's right, not just good for your brain and your heart. These little berries are also fantastic for your bladder. Blueberries are rich in antioxidants, especially one called anthocyanin, which fights inflammation and supports the tissue lining your urinary tract. They're naturally low in sugar compared to other fruits, and they don't irritate the bladder, the way citrus fruits or tomatoes might. The beauty of blueberries is how easy they are to add into your daily routine. You can toss them into a bowl of yogurt in the morning, blend them into a smoothie, or just eat them plain as a sweet, satisfying snack. And if fresh blueberries are hard to find or expensive in your area, frozen ones work just as well. Just be Be sure they don't have added sugars or syrups. What's more, blueberries have also been linked to improved brain health and memory, so while you're helping your bladder, you're also giving your mind a boost. That's what we love, foods that multitask for your health, especially as we age, and every choice matters a little more. Now, as we talk about all these foods, I want to reassure you of something. You don't have to make all these changes overnight. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You can start by adding just one of these foods to your daily routine. Maybe you enjoy a banana mid-evening instead of a salty snack, or you swap your usual dinner starch with some warm barley and roasted carrots. These little decisions, when done consistently, start to add up. And that's when you begin to feel the difference, not just in your bladder, but in your sleep, your energy, and even your confidence. Because here's the truth that often gets lost. Getting older doesn't mean you have to accept discomfort. Waking up every hour to use the bathroom isn't just part of aging. It's a signal from your body that something's out of balance. And with the right support, you can bring it back into balance. You can sleep through the night again. You can feel well rested in the morning instead of dragging yourself through the day. And you don't need expensive pills or complicated routines. Sometimes the solution is right there in your kitchen, on your plate. Nature has a beautiful way of supporting us when we listen, and these bladder-friendly foods are one of the ways she speaks. So, now that we've explored the power of pumpkin, seeds, leafy greens, bananas, barley, carrots, and blueberries, you might be wondering how to put it all together in a way that works for you. And maybe you're also thinking, is there anything I should avoid that might be making things worse? Let's keep going, because we're not done yet. There's still more to share, and you'll want to hear what's coming next. Absolutely, let's keep going, because this next food might surprise you with how simple it is, yet how effective it can be at helping your bladder stay calm through the night. Let's talk about plain Greek yogurt. Now, I know yogurt might not sound like a magical solution to nighttime bathroom trips, but hear me out. Greek yogurt is packed with probiotics, and these friendly little bacteria play a huge role in supporting your entire urinary tract. See, when your gut is balanced, your bladder tends to follow suit. The gut and bladder are more connected than we often realize. An imbalance in your gut flora can actually lead to irritation and inflammation in your bladder, which triggers that constant urge to go, especially at night. When your body's trying to rest, adding a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt to your daily routine can help soothe your bladder from the inside out. It also gives you a boost of calcium and protein, which are both important for muscle function, including the muscles that control urination. And because Greek yogurt is lower in sugar than many other yogurts, it won't spike your blood sugar or irritate your bladder lining like sugary snacks might. Now, here's a little trick that many people over 60 find helpful. Enjoy your yogurt in the late afternoon or early evening. It's light, it's satisfying, and it doesn't weigh heavily on your digestion before bedtime. You can even stir in a few blueberries for that added anti-inflammatory benefit, or a sprinkle of ground flaxseed for fiber. Just keep it simple and clean. Your bladder will thank you. While we're on the subject of soothing, healing foods, we can't ignore cherries, specifically tart cherry juice. This one is a real gem for older adults, especially those struggling with both frequent urination and poor sleep. Tart cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, the hormone your body needs to fall asleep and stay asleep. And let's face it, if you're waking up 3 or 4 times a night to go to the bathroom, your sleep quality is suffering, and that impacts everything else. Your energy, your memory, your mood. Tart cherry juice not only helps regulate your sleep cycle, but it's also rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. It helps reduce bladder irritation while supporting your body's natural ability to rest and repair overnight. Just a small glass, about 4 ounces, an hour or so before bedtime is all you need. It's not a sugary soda or a diuretic herbal tea. It's a gentle, natural way to encourage deeper, uninterrupted sleep and a more peaceful bladder. But here's the thing. No single food is going to be a magic fix. It's the combination of these bladder-supporting foods: pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, bananas, barley, carrots, blueberries, Greek yogurt, and tart cherry juice that creates the real results. When you start feeding your body the nutrients it needs to regulate fluids, relax muscles, and calm inflammation, things begin to shift. Maybe the first week you only wake up once a night instead of 3 times. Maybe the week after you sleep straight through until morning. That's the power of consistent, gentle nourishment. And let's not forget the emotional side of this. Waking up over and over to go to the bathroom isn't just physically exhausting, it can be discouraging. It chips away at your confidence, your energy, even your sense of independence. You start hesitating to travel, to visit family, or even to go on a walk, just because you're worried about finding the nearest bathroom. But imagine what life could feel like if you weren't ruled by that urge anymore. Imagine sleeping deeply, waking up refreshed and feeling confident enough to make plans again. This is about more than bladder control. It's about reclaiming your freedom. And believe it or not, it all starts with what you choose to put on your plate. So, if you're ready to make a shift, start small. Choose one of these foods, just one, and add it to your daily routine. Maybe it's a handful of pumpkin seeds mid-morning or a small bowl of yogurt in the afternoon. Maybe it's trading your usual dessert for a few cherries or having steamed spinach with dinner instead of bread. These aren't drastic changes. They're tiny acts of self-care. And over time, those tiny acts lead to bigger results. You have the power to improve how your body feels, how your nights go, and how you show up each day. You're not stuck, you're not too old, and it's never too late to feel better, one bite at a time. Remember, you deserve a full night's sleep, you deserve to move through your day without constant worry, and you deserve to feel strong and steady in your body. No matter your age, keep choosing foods that nourish, that comfort, and that support your best health. Because when you do, your bladder, and the rest of you, will finally get the rest it's been asking for.